All right, now we're outside 2706 Lakeview Court in Little Canada. Today we're checking out Hampton Companies, custom builder here in Minnesota. We are in the villas of Gervais Lake development. So Little Canada, not on the edge of the metro. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, but you have kind of a smaller development that Hampton Companies has here in Little Canada. 7 lots. Right across the streets from Gervais Lake. Chat a little more about that in a moment here as well. But one thing I wanted to point out right away is across the street, really nice looking park with trails, little pond area there. Gervais Mills Park, right across the street from this property. But yeah, really nice. I guess we do have some lots across the street as well. So the view across the street won't last forever, but the park is still super close proximity to this home. But yeah, custom builder here, Hampton Companies. We're gonna check it out in just a second. This one's a 3-bed, 4-bath, 2-car garage, right around 3,000 square feet. $1.25 million is the list price. And there's no HOA in this development. At least at the moment, no HOA. First thing that I noticed when I pulled up is the boulder retaining wall. Really nice landscaping, really impressive. The house sits up high on this lot. And related to that, we have this boulder retaining wall and the kind of trap rock landscaping around. But yeah, really impressive. Nice elevation on this home. I don't know if you've watched previous videos. Elevation with new construction means the facade of the house, the building materials, the architectural style. We got the sun right behind us right now, so a little bit harder to see, but really nice 2-tone colorway. Nice symmetry here as well. But yeah, really impressive. Kind of, not super modern style on this, but definitely a kind of a more contemporary look. Asphalt driveway, walking up, kind of a steeper driveway because I mentioned that the way the home sits up on this lot. Hardy board for the exterior. So it's a cement board, mimics wood, looks just like wood, but it's a mixture of cement and sand and cellulose. I've talked about it in previous videos, but yeah, really durable, less susceptible to rot, fire. 8-foot garage door here as well. Nice looking garage. Yeah, let's check out the house. So a little bit clearer picture with the color of this home. We do have gutters along the front side of the house. This house is going to be in the parade of homes. If you're interested in seeing this in person, I believe in June is when it'll be available to be seen. But yeah, walking up, little front porch area here. Really nice space. And heading inside, other thing I noticed walking in right away, nice heavy front door. So this is definitely, approaching the luxury category in terms of finish and style. Walking in right away, nice, good size entryway here. Stairs going down. So this is a 1-level house with a walkout basement, which is my personal favorite style of home. Just really like kind of having everything on 1 level and then the additional basement where you're not really feeling like you're trapped underground with the walkout. But the other thing that I noticed walking in here right away, 14-foot ceilings in here. So super high ceiling right when you walk in. 8-foot doorways as well. And then for the flooring, LVP is kind of the most common, most popular building material for, flooring in kitchens and kind of main level living room spaces other than carpet. Here we do have oak floors. So these are hardwood floors, kind of a nice light tone to these. But yeah, look awesome in person. We'll chat a little bit more about that here in a moment as well. But entryway to the right, we've got the stairs going down. Straight ahead is the main living room space, but to the left, we do have a hallway here, front entry or entryway closet. Kind of a smaller closet. I've pointed this out in previous videos as well, though. I love the 8-foot doors. Just really gives the home a different feel. Just give it that, kind of more luxury feel. Nice solid doors. The weight, the kind of the density, also just kind of adds to the overall feel. I really like that. And then we do have main level, 3/4 bath. Really nice looking tile. I don't know what this material is. It feels almost like a granite. A little bit of texture on there, but great style, neutral colors. Really like that, very calming. Stone for the counters here. All the cabinets in this home, very high end. Wood cabinets, soft close on everything. Cabinet construction, really nice. I love the plywood here, like even this detail here where the changing the two-tone wood on the drawers. Just really nice look. Gives everything a really good feel overall. So a lot of times main level bathroom is gonna just be, a powder room bathroom. We do have a shower here. Good sized shower, not huge. The soldier stack, straight set tile, very popular style these days. This one's interesting because the tiles are so thin. I feel like this is like one section, and you put these up in sections because otherwise really lining those up, those thin tiles could be difficult. But natural look and feel for the tile, kind of a muted color as well, but really, really nice. Good sturdy glass door on that as well. 8-foot door. I'll keep pointing it out because I really like it. And then this space, it's pretty common right off the front door to have the office space here. So no closet in this room, so not technically a bedroom, but the feature in here that caught my eye, 12-foot ceiling, vaulted. Usually don't get this high of a ceiling in these, office spaces right off the front door. But love the window here as well. Love the shape. So this house does have Andersen windows. Andersen, very highly respected, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but well-known window manufacturer. So yeah, Andersen windows throughout. Of course, vinyl, double pane. But yeah, another nice feature. This home shows that they have attention to high quality products. But yeah, I really like just the width of this window in here. Very cool space. And of course, the home that's, kind of in this price bracket with this kind of level of attention to details, you're going to get some funky light fixtures. So nothing surprising there, but kind of cool. Also, I haven't pointed out the carpet in this room. But yeah, not your standard, builder grade carpet, kind of a little bit more dense, a little more interesting texture there. So yeah, I really like all these spaces. Know that this house is not that big, 3,000 square feet. So, it's not, these rooms especially are not what I would consider like super spacious, but they do have a really great feel. And a lot of it comes down to quality of the materials that they're using and the ceiling height. The natural light in this house too is really, really excellent, because of these huge windows and the super high ceilings. But yeah, let's get into the main event already. The main level here, main level living room space, kitchen, dining room space as well. Of course, the first thing that you notice walking in is the natural light coming through those windows. 14-foot ceiling there, 16 feet wide on these windows here. But yeah, just really, really impressive. So we do have some homes across the street, but beyond that, you can see in the distance is Lake Gervais. So yeah, there is access to that lake. So it's part of the Phelan chain of lakes. Spoon Lake, I believe is the name of it, where the access point is for a public boat launch. But Lake Gervais does have a public park and public beach as well. That's fairly close to this house. But yeah, of course it is on the other side of that street. But yeah, walking in, I think the measurement at the highest point of the ceiling was like 15 feet. But yeah, really nice open space. Do have the oak floors. So I was chatting with Steve, the other Steve on our team, about oak floors here just a minute ago. We've been doing this, we've gone through a few different homes now. We'll be doing much more in the future, but talking about the difference between LVP and wood. Obviously LVP is going to be more durable. It's a less yeah, with wood, you're definitely approaching that kind of luxury feel. Whereas LVP, I mean, there's a billion different types of it. You can get very high end, very low end. Haven't really seen any low end LVP since we've been doing this. But you know, the LVP mimics wood texture and look, you know, any color you want as well. It is more durable. If you do have pets, if you do have kids, you know, a lot of times people make that choice for those reasons. Wood is going to be, you know, a higher quality, more luxury type material. You know, it is natural, of course. You can stain it, you know, pretty much any color you'd like. You can refinish it. Of course, there's an expense with that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, what you prefer. If you do like the kind of durability and the ease of LVP, or if you do prefer kind of the elevated look and feel of a real hardwood floor. Check out the kitchen here. 9 foot, a little bit more than 9 foot. What am I trying to say here? Kitchen island. Stone counters, of course. I didn't get the details on these counters. To me, it looks like quartz. Quartz seems to be the preferred as opposed to granite. I think just because, you know, it is more durable. That's not porous. It doesn't need to be sealed. You know, it's not gonna, I believe it's quartz that, you know, you have to be worried about temperature. But yeah, huge kitchen island. I mean, this is very similar type of layout for new construction, right? The sight lines, the openness to, you know, dining room, living room, and kitchen, you know, is what we're seeing in a lot of the new construction that we've been taking a look at. But yeah, cabinets, super high quality in here as well. The two-tone color is also becoming a trend that I'm noticing more and more. The wood, the natural wood tones here, and then this is kind of like a painted, same material, but you know, just like a painted facade. But yeah, very, very high quality materials. Like I mentioned before, of that detailing there. Dovetail construction for the drawers, soft close on everything. These in particular feel, sometimes you'll get a drawer that's like, you know, it's rattling around a lot. You know, as you move it, you can kind of make it, you know, jostle around on its tracks, but just the feel of opening and closing these is noticeable in my opinion. And then of course we've got the straight set tile. You know, I mentioned it in the bathroom, but very, very, you know, common. I shouldn't say common. I like the look. It's just become, it's a trend for sure. We're seeing it pretty much everywhere. Also, this style of tile is very popular, where it's not super high gloss. It's kind of a matte finish. It almost looks like it was, you know, like handmade, like, you know, like a potter or something made this. I guess I don't know for sure, but I would imagine this is not a handmade tile, but it does have that kind of look and feel of something a little bit more natural, as opposed to something with like a real high gloss or a high finish or high sheen on it. The paneling on the hood vent, I like a lot of times you'll see like a slope on the hood. This going straight up and down, I quite like. I think that's a very nice, clean look. I prefer, you know, kind of right angles and straight lines as opposed to curves and slants and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you care, if you notice those types of things. But yeah, my own personal preference. Appliances. So this brand is called Cafe. I did a little looking into this. So this is GE's kind of luxury line. So there seems like there's some kind of delineation between, it's not GE Cafe, it's just Cafe, but yeah, it is GE makes these. It is kind of their high-end appliance. I've seen them in other homes. I'm not super familiar with the brand. It's not something like Wolf or Sub-Zero where like the name recognition is super strong. But from the looking that I did, it is a high quality appliance. Things that I'm noticing here, I mean, the gold kind of accents, kind of interesting. Stainless, of course. And then the fridge is Cafe as well. It's kind of got this matte, you know, dark stainless. I'm trying to remember what the term is that they use for this kind of dark, it's almost black stainless, but nice matte finish on that. And then the gold hardware. So this is built into cabinets so we got the wine slots here. Really like that. you're a wine drinker. Certainly seen, homes that lean into that even more. But I kind of like just you've got, whatever it is, 15 or so slots there for wine, and then storage on top as well. We're gonna adjust that drawer shelf a little bit. Pantry area, I was looking for a light, and then I realized that it is motion, so that is pretty cool. But yeah, still have the, they went with the quartz or whatever stone this is in here as well. Nice space, nice, some staging or hosting area here. And storage, of course, as well. 8-foot doors. Dining room area, a little bit on the small side. We have a 6-seater table in here. You certainly could get something a little bit larger in here if that was the goal. But yeah, no overhead light in this dining space. We do have the deck right off here. Again, Anderson windows and doors. So composite deck, again, new construction, it's fairly rare that they're going to include a deck. So this is not a model home. This is just a spec home, I believe. Yeah, this is for Hampton Companies here in Little Canada, but nice composite deck. I like the roof over, kind of a busy road, but really nice to have this outdoor space for sure. Do have view of the lake in the distance, and this view right here across the street, the park. Yeah, I was aware of the lake. I was not until I rolled up. I was not aware of the park, so very nice to have that. And then into the living room space, really nice size. Again, the big thing in here is going to be these huge windows, all the natural light. Do have a gas burning fireplace. I like the insert there, that kind of herringbone brick tile for the exterior, and then the paneling that mimics the paneling on the hood vent. The way that the builder, Hampton Companies, described this is California modern interior. So take what you will with that bit of info, but I can kind of feel it being in here. I think the neutral palette overall lends to that, the super high ceilings. We do have kind of the, another little like butler area here. I guess wet bar you could call it. Usually you'd think of that in a basement, but yeah, stone for the counters here, same cabinets, the glass. Kind of interesting location right off of the kitchen for that, but yeah, just really, really nice space overall. Since we're here, we'll poke into, so main level laundry. There is a pocket door right here. So if you had the washer dryer going, I'd imagine these don't make a ton of noise, but you always close this off, hosting, or if you just don't want to, gaze into your mudroom / laundry room. Flooring in here, it's kind of like a brick style tile, but that is real tile, as opposed to like a laminate product or, one sheet vinyl. Nice storage in the mudroom space. Same quality of cabinets. Do have stone for the counter here as well. We'll just peek in the garage. So 2-car garage. Nice. I like it's just like a slight step up. But yeah, pretty much on the same level. Yeah, 8-foot garage door. Little additional storage space in here. Let's get into I said this was the main event. I guess some could argue that we're heading to the real main event, which is the primary suite. 8-foot doors here again. But yeah, coming into primary bedroom. Love the tray ceiling. Love the wood detail around, and then the lights. It's kind of hard to see because it's such a nice day with the natural light coming in here. But yeah, the light coming up from above, the wood. But yeah, 10.5-foot ceilings in here, I believe it was. Yeah, really, really nice space. Really like the carpet, high quality, little bit of detail in there. And then the window seat. Really nice. Got the Anderson windows, great light in here. I haven't mentioned the home audio. So yeah, all these rooms have the speakers. And this house features a Control 4 home, like smart home. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the basement, but a very high quality smart home technology. Control 4 is the name of it. Then entering into the ensuite, so primary bathroom here. So tile, of course, for the floor, nice neutral tone. Cabinets, of course, same that we've seen. Stone for the counters, got the double sink, but the really interesting thing about this primary bath, in my opinion, is the shower tub combo here. So this has like a very, in my opinion, like spa-like feel. I have never seen the tub in the same room as the shower, just like the freestanding tub in the shower space. So very interesting. Tile, luxury tile, kind of this like ribbed texture. Yeah, really nice features here. No, kind of interesting to me, there's no, you do have natural light in here from that window, kind of a smaller window. A lot of times when you see these freestanding tubs, they're going to be underneath like a window. For some people that can be like a privacy issue, of course, depending on how the house is situated. This to me feels more like a spa where you're going in, or like a steam room type feel, with less natural light. But I do really like the choice to put the tub in the same space as the shower. And just, this is quite large. This is not a small space. That's a good sized tub, kind of what you'd expect in terms of just not huge, but definitely not on the small side. But yeah, just really interesting choice for this. And just, the quality of the tile. I mean, get a little bit closer look at that. But of course, just like everything else, just adds to the overall feel and vibe of the home and giving it that luxury feel. Then of course we've got very large walk-in closet. Again, motion lights, very cool. Same carpet that we saw in the primary. Really nice closet organization. Like the full-length mirror in the closet, that's a nice touch. You don't always see that. Of course you can add one, but just to have it in here already is cool. And even 8-foot doors in here. Yeah, just love the solid doors. Everything, And yeah, again, it's not every builder gives it this feel, but yeah, just the solid, everything feels super solid. All right, let's check out the lower level. I'll say basement because technically that's what it is, but again, with a walkout, doesn't have that basement feel. Heading downstairs, so we have a different style carpet on the steps going down. Yeah, all wood around. And then wood on the landing here as well. Same, that oak, that kind of light oak hardwood. But yeah, just a nice choice. The bottom of the stairs, you have a different type of carpet. That's the carpet that we saw in that office space. So kind of interesting to have the two different designs or different styles there. Let me know what you think of that. If you prefer all one style of carpet, or if, seeing the two different textures next to each other, it's kind of a weird feeling. Nice open space down here in the basement, a little bit higher than 8-foot ceilings. We do have a wet bar. We'll check this out here in just a moment. But yeah, mentioned the walkout, Anderson windows, nice big open space. So they added this one. It looks like, I don't think this opens, but just to add, more natural light down here. And then yeah, the sliding glass door. Oh, did I lock it? Yep. Out to the patio space. There's that deck that we stepped out on. And then of course the park across the street. But yeah, good natural light in this basement space. Wet bar, same tone, that same like neutral, really clean, calming look and feel to this. But yeah, I think it's worth chatting a little bit more about where this home is located. So Little Canada, it's adjacent to Roseville. It's directly north of St. Paul, just right around 10,000 population. It is in Roseville schools. So a little storage space here, a little finished storage space. But what's interesting to me about this is this development, this little 7-lot development, everything is on about a 1/4 acre. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but 1/4 acre lot, bigger than what you're gonna get for most new construction homes. But what makes it unique is that it's not on the edge of the metro. Little Canada, right smack dab in the middle of the metro, really easy access to both Minneapolis and St. Paul. So it's a good example that you can get new construction kind of closer to the center of the metro as opposed to the edge of the metro. You know, a lot of the homes that we're seeing on this channel, especially Lakeville, we'll be going out to Woodbury, other areas, they're always kind of on the edge of the metro we're stepping into. So this is kind of, I'm gonna go back to describing the home here. But yeah, kind of interesting. I'll do this quickly just so you can kind of get a sense of it all. But we've got 2, sink toilet spaces that are joined by the shower and tub space. So yeah, kind of interesting. And then yeah, same cabinets and counters. Really like the mirror, of course. But yeah, getting back to, Little Canada, as opposed to the edge of the metro, you still can find new construction kind of in the city. Now, there's gonna be pros and cons to both of that. If you prefer to be in an area where all the houses kind of have the same look and feel or very similar look and feel, it's probably gonna be a development that is closer to the edge of the metro. Those developments are much larger because that's where there's still land to develop, right? Lakeville, a lot of the houses that we've seen, they back onto, farmland almost, or in the midst of an area that is, that has just like a lot of open space. Whereas here, you're looking at homes right across the street that were built in the 1950s, 1970s. So just kind of depends on where you prioritize the location and what you're looking for in terms of just the overall vibe and feel of the area. If you prefer to be in a development where everything is new. I think it's also worth mentioning a little bit more about Gervais Lake. One of the features about this home is the proximity to it. So there is a fishing pier and additional public shoreline at the public beach. It's located on the southwest corner of the lake, right off of Edgerton Street, very close to where this home is. But yeah, I mentioned before, it's part of the Phelan chain of lakes, Lake Phelan, Spoon Lake. That's where the public boat launch is. And then of course the park, just like right across the street here. Very, very nice feature of this home. But yeah, new construction, kind of closer to the city in Little Canada. 1.25 million is the list price right now on this home. Overall, I was very impressed. I love the natural light. Definitely a little bit on the smaller side compared to some of the homes we've seen in this price range. But again, that goes down to location, being in the middle of the metro as opposed to the edge of the metro. Typically, median sale prices are going to be a little bit higher. In addition to that, you're going to be in a mix of older homes as well. I was looking it up. I believe the median age of homes that were sold in Little Canada in the last, since 2022, the houses were built in 1981. So you are going to be, in an area that has a much more variety in terms of the age of homes. So some people like that. Some people prefer to be, in an area where everything is built within the last, 5 or so years. But let me know what you think in the comments about that. And yeah, please reach out if you're interested in this one. If you have questions about new construction, if you have questions about pre-owned homes, our team helps relocations. We help people who currently live in the Twin Cities. We specialize in new construction. But yeah, we help everybody for whatever need that they might have. Yeah, reach out. My name is Steve Wilk. My phone number is 763-360-9291. My email is steve@tothetwincities.com. Thank you so much for watching this. And yeah, I'm available if you have questions, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.